Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing fine. My name is Pooja Dwivedi. Let's start with today's session. Before that, I would like to suggest not to make notes. It is provided through my Telegram channel, Pooja Dwivedi UPSC. If you have any queries, feel free to talk to me on my Instagram, follow me on my threads. The various events that we have to cover, let's talk about the first question. The first ever INDUS-X investor meet was conducted between, these are the given options. INDUS-X actually means India USA Defense Accelerator Ecosystem, and the concept of it was actually given birth to in January 2023. For the first time ever, it was launched in June 2023 when the Prime Minister of India went on a state visit to the USA. The basic aim is to ensure that there is a seamless network between the defense startup and defense industry of India and defense industry of the USA. Because defense as a sector plays an immensely pivotal role in our relationship with the USA, specifically in the Indo-Pacific region. So the correct answer would be India and USA, option C. It has been organized by the US Department of Defense and Indian Ministry of Defense. So I have already told you this. Also keep one thing in mind, that it is under US-India initiative on critical and emerging technology. Because technologies are emerging, new kinds of threats are emerging. Similarly, we have to ensure that India and the USA have a seamless network between them so that we can cooperate on technology specifically. And businesses, investors, academic institutions, all are a part of it. Remember that. So that we can have more innovative, accessible and resilient relationship when it comes to defense. It will also give a boost to the defense startup sector of India and of course our own aim to achieve defense exports. Moving on, consider the following statements. Cloud seeding can only happen if there is a sufficient number of clouds and particular depth to these clouds. In India so far, cloud seeding has not been tried with the purpose of reducing pollution, but only been tried to deal with drought-like conditions. So which of the statements given above is or are correct? Recently, there were ideas that were being reported that if Delhi's air quality index doesn't improve, then cloud seeding to create artificial rain could be undertaken. But according to the Supreme Court, it is the God who we should thank, because it was, of course, overnight rain we saw and Delhi is fresh as snow again. Now, the thing is that what is cloud seeding? We have to understand that. Cloud seeding is generally the introduction of certain molecules of salt in the clouds so that more cloud molecules and droplets can develop around it, and hence it gives birth to rain. And this is one of the things that India has tried before. But our purpose was never to reduce pollution. It has been tried in China. In India, it has been tried in states such as Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra to take care of drought-like condition, and that was done during specifically monsoon season because we need the presence of clouds and the presence of proper depth in the clouds. In clear skies, we cannot do it. Alright. So first statement is definitely correct and second statement is also correct. In China, it has been tried to reduce pollution. That is why we were thinking about it. So both the statements are correct, both 1 and 2. Delhiites have stepped out to fresher air today because of light, mild overnight rainfall. Now clouds are usually injected with salts here, specifically silver iodide, potassium iodide or sodium chloride. UPSC can also ask us about the types of salts. So remember this. And this is done in order to give additional nuclei around which more cloud droplets can form, like this. And they join together, hence becoming a cloud. This can be done by spreading the salts through aircraft or even through generators on the ground. Cloud seedings can only happen when there is a proper number of cloud, there is a specific number of cloud as well as depth present to them. Inside there needs to be an adequate number of cloud droplets as well. Now in winters, clouds from over Delhi form over Delhi specifically because of the western disturbances that come from the Mediterranean Sea, the Caspian Sea, and in this part we get the non-monsoonal rainfall. Rainfall which is non-monsoonal in nature is generally in winters due to the western disturbances only. Seeding has mostly been attempted during monsoon in states such as Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka. In India, we did not undergo this particular challenge of doing cloud seeding under pollution conditions so that we can reduce them. Name the following, consider the following pairs. Names have been given and the types of malware they are. Lockbit is a spyware. Pegasus is a ransomware. Fireball is an adware. So what do we have to see? How many pairs given above is or are correct? Lockbit, by the name you can understand, it locks the files. And in return it wants ransom. Ransom means money in return of something that it has illegitimately possessed. So ransomware is Lockbit. Pegasus, which has been in the news since quite a while now, Pegasus spies on the person's conduct through the phones or laptops, whatever they are in. So Pegasus is a spyware, it spies. Lockbit is a ransomware, and Fireball is an adware. That means certain types of ads you will see, unwanted ads. If you click on them, then this malware will install itself. Fireball is there. So first is incorrect, second is incorrect, third is correct, one only will be the correct answer. China's largest industrial and commercial bank of China is under attack by Lockbit, which is a Russian speaking ransomware syndicate. Okay, and this typically begins when the group gains access to company's network through a phishing email or vulnerability. That means if you click on that email, it will get installed. It will encrypt the file, whatever the file is present digitally. It will ask for ransom and then decrypt it if you give them so. Moving on, it is one of the most notorious ransomwares, has been in operation since 2019. Even countries such as USA, India, Ukraine and Indonesia were attacked by it. Moving on, with reference to the hallmarking, consider the following statements. It is defined as the accurate determination and official recording. That means first we have to determine and then we have to record it of the proportionate content of precious metals in precious metals articles. That means if this is an article, what is the content of the precious metal in it? Because sometimes non-precious metals are also mixed with them. So hallmarking is done through that. And yes, when you accurately determine it and also maintain an official record, this is called hallmarking. I'm sure many of you must be looking for gold options when it comes to purchasing in terms of Diwali. That is why it is important for you all to know it. The Bureau of Indian Standards operates gold hallmarking as well as silver hallmarking both. In India, it is supposed to be for only two, gold and silver, and BIS takes care of that. So first is correct, second is incorrect. Jewelry for government approved B2B, business to business domestic exhibition, has been exempted from mandatory hallmarking. This is also correct. For international exhibition as well as for this purpose. So this is correct. Third is correct. First is correct. First is not correct. How many are correct? Two only will be the correct answer. Right now in the first phase, gold hallmarking will be available only in 256 districts, and jewelers who are having an annual turnover above rupees 40 lakh will come under its purview. BIS operates gold and silver hallmarking schemes in India. Hallmarking, I have already told you what it is. And Department of Consumer Affairs by the export and re-import of jewelry as per the trade policy of Government of India exempts certain kinds of precious metals from gold from hallmarking, such as for jewelry for international exhibition and jewelry for government approved B2B domestic exhibition. Okay, here it is written the same thing, so remember that. Okay, moving on, with reference to the nuclear power, consider the following statements. Nuclear grade heavy water is used as a moderator and coolant in pressurized heavy water. Deuterium is present in hydrogen but not present in hydrogen bearing compounds. India is the largest producer of heavy water in the world and it doesn't have indigenously developed nuclear power reactor. So what do we have to see? How many of the statements given above is or are not correct? I've covered Kakrapar nuclear power plant, of which one more unit is now in operation and it is indigenously developed. So how can you say India doesn't have indigenously developed nuclear power reactor? This is incorrect. Heavy water is a water in which the hydrogen in the molecule is either wholly or partly removed and replaced by isotope deuterium. And India is the largest producer of heavy water in the world. This is correct. Fourth is incorrect. Third is correct. Deuterium is actually not only present in hydrogen but also hydrogen bearing compounds. So that makes the second statement to be incorrect. Fourth is incorrect. Second is incorrect. And yes, first is correct. First and third are correct. 2 and 4 are incorrect. 2 only will be the correct answer. The third unit of indigenously developed 700 megawatt electric nuclear power reactor Kakrapar is now operational in Gujarat. And deuterium is a stable isotope of hydrogen and heavy water. 2 atoms of deuterium and 1 atom of oxygen is there. It is present in hydrogen and also hydrogen bearing compounds such as hydrocarbon and water. Nuclear grade heavy water is used as a moderator as well as a coolant in the pressurized heavy water reactor, of which India is the largest producer of heavy water in the world. Now this is a practice question. Which of the following is the effect of depreciation in rupee? Indian rupee is going down. Export of goods and services become competitive. Import of goods and services become costlier. We have to choose the correct answer from the codes. Let me take the names of those students who have answered my last question correctly. Stay with me for a moment, please. So yes, those of you who have answered it correctly. Ascending phase of the cycle, yes. Ascending phase of the solar cycle or solar magnetic activity cycle or sunspot cycle, whatever you may want to call it. I will have another question with respect to that. I saw actually this particular, some of you may not have understood what ascending phase is. Another question will be introduced tomorrow and I will explain you in that, okay? So yes, answer India and USA, Kanika, Unnati, Mansi, Shubham, Manish. No, Manish, actually solar cycle, solar magnetic activity cycle or sunspot cycle. You can call it anything, but most probably we should call it solar cycle because it is related to the sun. Then, yes, Jury, I will make sure that you get that ascending phase one correctly, aurora one correctly. Jury has answered it correctly. Thank you, Nish. Then Vijay has answered it correctly. Priyadarshan, Ritu, Shantanu, Swati, Shubham, Abhishek, Riya, Pulkit, Prabhat. No, Prabhat is it's actually India USA, okay? Mindful, Nityanand, author Shivika, Sandy, Ankit. You all have answered it correctly. Please do answer this one as well so that I can take your names again. Thank you so much for watching. Stay updated.